Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome in the source codes. I actually just changed positions. So the sun was behind me, so I could actually see, yes, my face is red. I did take some niacin this morning, which flushes and it brings blood flow. We also have, we know what those are. They're getting a lot lighter, which is good, but they're still spraying chemicals and heavy metals. So again, what prompted this particular message, this channeled information, comes from my past history in the health and wellness industry. Okay. All right. And it triggered me a little bit. I love all you beautiful sisters and brothers, my soul family out there that I listen to. But it came across as a you have to information, and a lot of star seeds, light workers, earth angels, whatever you resonate with, you've done it all. Rainbow bridges, whatever. I might get a little chilly because I'm in the back part of the sun. So it is really cool out here, like temperature wise. And it really kind of like, okay, all the information is spot on, but you have to, this is what you need to do. Like there needs to be more balanced approach and a more sustainable approach instead of telling the collective, you have to do this. Now, that can be very triggering to a lot of us who've gone through eating disorders. I guarantee you have had some type of addiction or struggle around eating disorders, excessive exercising, excessive nutritional protocols, excessive dieting. If you haven't, then maybe this message isn't for you, but a lot of the collective has, and a lot of the starseed community, a lot of the starseeds, the ground crew, have had this problem, this lesson in this lifetime. And I am one of them. I've done a few videos on that, and this activated 202 and inspired me to have this conversation again. And I will have as many conversations in every now present moment that I need to with whoever is interested and curious. So if you're receiving this, you may need to this, okay? Yes, it is very important to clean and clear your physical temple. I've been doing these practices on and off over the years, sometimes a little forcibly and not sustainably, right? Oh, we're gonna keep the source there, okay. And I have learned in many ways, shapes, and forms through this. I grew through it, through the lessons and everything I went through. What you go through, you grow through. And if you want to learn from somebody, do you want to learn it from a book, or do you want to learn from somebody's wisdom and knowledge through actual experience? All right, and that's why a lot of us star seeds and ground crew are here, those first wavers. We're here to assist the collective now stepping into the next wave that's waking up, because we're here to assist that. We're not here to tell you how to do it. I don't do that anymore. I share the information, I share my authenticity, I share you my stories, and I hope that this activates you and inspires you and ignites you and expands you in ways beyond that your human can't even understand in this now present moment. And it is all perfect, and it is always for your highest and best good through unconditional love and light, okay? And so why am I here? And I might miss a few things, but that's fine. We're here to talk about detox protocols, fasting protocols, nutritional protocols, not in a rigid sense, in a balance forward sense. So the word yesterday, one of the key codes is balance forward, which is sustainability moving forward. We're not forcing things. There's been a lot of geese around here, which there usually isn't. So geese are significant as a confirmation, another key code, as well as squirrels. Maybe spirit animals, maybe messages from your guides and angels. Go look at what the key code or keyword or spiritual meaning behind squirrels and geese are, and see what that is. See what other messages are there for you. All right, back to this topic. A lot of blue, a lot of Archangel Michael energy here. Archangel Raphael was here yesterday with some transmissions for healing energies. All right, so why are you going through a lot of sickness or dis-ease or flu-like symptoms, colds, allergies, whatever it is? Sometimes it's moderate, sometimes it's full-blown respiratory infection, sometimes it's full-blown flu symptoms. This could be an energetic thing you're purging, but also could be a physical thing you're purging. You're purging toxins, chemicals, things that they're being sprayed on us. All right, so over the years, the biggest things I used to tell my clients, the biggest thing you can do is start detoxing. And you can detox as well from media and different things like that, other addictions that you have, or other information that's coming in that's not of, and that is not for your highest. Again, use the discernment. This is the big key. The humanity is learning to tap back into their intuitions, their psychic abilities and gifts, and to discern what is truth and what is which is a big pile of bullshit. And yes, there's a lot of toxicity in the health and wellness industry. Looking back, taking that higher perspective, there were lessons, there was teachings, a lot of wisdom and knowledge gained for me personally. All right, and a lot of people that have woke up, I resonate with, and I receive content through my sacred algorithm, also came from that community. In the toxicity, in the diet protocols, and the excessive exercising, and the disorders. So at a very young age, I did suffer from anorexia, and it had stemmed from childhood trauma, abuse, and bullying. And was anorexic, and then struggled with bulimia, and then struggled after that with excessive control. Again, all tied back to the root cause of, which is that quantum medicine, addressing the root cause, and which I did at 48 years old, and slowly through the years, but definitely it was a process over the years, but definitely in the last 10 to 15 years, and especially this last year, it was all tied back to those roots causes, the bulimia, the not loving myself, not loving my body, all of the stuff that comes along with those disorders, eating patterns, whether it's anorexia, bulimia, self-harm might fall in there, and then excessive control over what you're putting in your body, controlling the amount you're putting in your body while excessively exercising, and tracking all of the stuff, waves. I've gone in many waves, okay? Completely had to release the last bit of tracking and all of that last year as part of this healing process. So why do we talk about this? Because you might be hearing other people in the community, which is fine, sharing stuff on what might be helpful during this awakening process. But if you ever hear the word, a beautiful just moth or butterfly is flying through, thank you. Wow, that doesn't happen very often. Can't figure out where it wants to land. It can't land on the building. So you need to use your discernment. If someone's telling you this is what you have to do, feel into that, because I don't like to say this is what you have to do. I suggest that you can feel into, and I did a video a week or so ago on what I'm currently doing, and I had a conversation last week. What are you doing? What have you been doing? I'm like, well, I can't really, it's day to day, month to month, and week to week. I don't plan anymore. I don't say this is what I'm doing this for my food or this or that. If I feel like I need to eat eggs, I'll eat eggs until I don't feel like I need to eat eggs. Or if I feel like I need to eat more of this or that. Say, but the biggest point to this 818 is listen to your intuition. And yes, it is important to remove processed foods, ultra processed foods. It is important for you right now to stop. You need to choose to stop consuming fast food in general. There's a lot of reasons outside of the poisons and the toxins in there, but there's a lot of deeper, nefarious, dark, nasty shit that goes on with the fast food industry. All right, so use your discernment. I would never recommend eating fast food, ever. I don't care what kind of pinch you're in, be prepared. Okay? I would suggest you choose to remove all processed foods. You could just do there. You don't even have to fast or anything. If you just removed all processed drinks, like soda pop beverages, things like that, and you just start there and be consistent with that and make that sustainable for you. That's a start with detoxing. If you're at ground zero, this is my ground zero, people. Remove all of these large companies. Quit giving your money to all of these large companies that process these products. That's a start. Energetically, amazing start. For your physical avatar, greatly appreciate you. So you can start that detox. You don't have to go hard. It could be gentle. Detox should be gentle. You have to clear your original pathways, which is your lungs, your kidneys, your colon, your liver. You don't have to do some radical detox. Again, this is sustainable. This isn't like a one and done thing. This is like you need to live a certain way, and you need to choose to live a certain way to continue to keep these pathways open, so that when you are receiving things from things like that they spray in the sky, you can detox them rapidly, naturally. All right, you can choose to remove all toxic cleaning chemicals from your home. You can choose to not put any toxic substances in your pie hole, on your skin, women especially. I would recommend and choose you, beautiful soul. You are beautiful without all of that makeup, all of that chemical on your skin. Coconut oil, perfect. You know, you could use different oils. Castor oil is a little thick, but coconut oil is all I've used. Essential oils. I don't use deodorants. I don't use any chemicals on my body, and I haven't for many years. Okay? I haven't worn makeup. I can't even tell you when the last time I had makeup on. Honor the beauty of your avatar as it is right now. What you wash your hair with, beautiful souls. This is your antenna. Okay? Chemicals. Again, be mindful. All right? Use your discernment. Muscle testing is helpful. But I said the first steps of detoxing in this process is, again, removing everything that you can control. And that's a start. All right? And then you can step it up. You could just choose to wait to eat light in the morning, stop eating at a certain time in the evening. All right? That's another way of sustainable. And then it'll gradually move you into where we're going to be progressing into. And what's going on right now is you're receiving a lot of light codes. You're receiving a lot of light codes. You're receiving a lot of information. And if your body is junked up, your physical avatar is full of parasites, energetic parasites, and metals, heavy metals. You're still using fluoridated toothpaste. You're still drinking fluoridated water. You're doing all of these things that are still keeping your system suppressed. You probably get colds a lot. You probably have really bad allergies. You probably have issues with getting sick often. Dis-ease in the body. You might have achy joints, crunchy bones. There's a whole lot of things that go along with this. And again, it can be, I guess, ascension symptoms, awakening symptoms, whatever. But what's going on is if you are at ground zero and you haven't really done anything to clean house, clean your temple, your avatar, you're going to be made to feel really uncomfortable. And I don't care how big or small you are. So if you're a younger person, in this I'm talking to the parents, you are the example. Mamas and papas and grandmas and grandpas and aunties and uncles and all of these titled friends, whatever. You are the example. Be the example for your children. Don't tell them, be the example. And again, if they're young enough, the problem is so many young people have become so addicted because the parents didn't know better, right? If you don't know better, you can't do different. So a big part of when I worked with clients, counseling them on nutrition and health and wellness, and when it starts with you as the example, and then depending on the age of the child, don't give them the junk food. Don't give them the fast food. Don't give them the processed food. It's a drug. It's an addiction. And the companies and big food, big pharma, all of that, they know this. It's a form of control. It's a form of control. Okay, use your discernment. So the first step would be to detox. And you can use that just simply just removing those things and replacing them with things that are healthier. And if you don't know by now what is a healthier option, I'm going to tell you. Things that are grown in the ground, in the trees. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, complex carbohydrates, single ingredient foods. I'm not saying you have to remove all things, and if I do a processed food, which I do, plantain chips, it's plantain chips, sea salt, and coconut oil. It's under 3 ingredients, 2 to 3 ingredients, okay? My soy milk is literally organic soybeans and water. So yes, I do have some things. I'm not full-blown, like, no processed foods, but there are some things that do assist. All right? A lot of frozen fruit. All right? All of this stuff. Be mindful of the types of fruit. If you're, the chemicals that are being sprayed. So cleanse your food as much as possible. And it always, if you're able to, put your funds towards organic food, do that. I don't have a lot, but I've always said this to my clients and myself over the years. I will put that extra $1 or $2 in my food and my supplements because that's going into my physical avatar. And I'll be 50 this year, ladies and gents. 1550. 1515 on the timer. Okay. Sometimes they're like, I want to see your driver's license to prove your age. And this has been like this for a long time. Am I perfect? Fuck no. I'm a soul having a human experience, learning all of this stuff just like all of you. But I have a lot of knowledge and wisdom behind this. So if you are ever guided or have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. And if I feel like I'm called to, maybe we could share email, do an email exchange and go from there, because I have done nutritional counseling to help people to kind of set themselves up in a sustainable, holistic way that's I'm not going to say there's not going to be some detox symptoms or things like that around there, because there's a lot of reasons people hold on to these substances, just like alcohol or drugs or smoking or whatever substance it is. It's all addiction. All right. But the simplest thing I can say, and I said this yesterday, and I don't like to say stupid, but keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, soul. There we go. Keep it simple, soul. For your physical avatar. And I'm not just talking nutritionally removing things. And again, I've had people question me on like protein powders and things like that. Yeah, those can be beneficial, but they're full of chemicals. Not all of them. But one of my previous clients I haven't seen in a very long time sent me, and I'm like, no, don't waste your money on that. Like, it was a very high quality protein. It was a very expensive protein with very minimal shit ingredients. It's all a sales tactic. It's all about this sometimes. And I'm not saying these things are not beneficial. Yes, they can be. That's why we're so advanced. But it's learning to understand the difference, learning to read the labels, learning to know, do I really need this, or do I need to just eat some real fucking food? I need to just be prepared. Make the smoothie, make the sandwich, 1717, make the salad, whatever it is. But especially coming from a disordered past in all ways, shapes, and forms, you have to learn to listen to your intuition foremost. And you'll hear a lot of us talking like, well, we were eating a certain way, now we're having aversions. And I've shared this many times in 2024. All right, I'll go way back. I've done all the protocols: veganism, fasting, raw vegan, fruitarianism, keto, fasting, high carb, low carb, high fat, low fat, high protein, all of it. I've done all of it. I know a little something about it. What I've learned overall, over many years, is I learned that each day is different. And especially going through this ascension and this awakening process, each day is different. And I was vegan for 7 to 8 years. Then I was called back to eat omnivorous again after being keto, going back into fruit, and then getting into, again, low fat, low carb, high carb, low protein, high protein. I've done it all. And then was playing around with it 2017, 2018, just to give you a time frame, to 2024, kind of settled into, and then started having aversions to animal products and removed all animal products. But this time it wasn't because of disordered issues. This time it was because my soul was asking me to keep it simple and to remove things, because I was going through massive detoxing and purging and upgrades and activations and elevations. And you cannot receive these codes comfortably without creating space. So yes, I go back to, if you're still feeling discomfort, you might be extremely filled with toxins, parasites, and heavy metals. These light codes are forcing out. It's like this inside blast of light that's trying to force it out, and it'll come through the skin. Again, one end or the other. Brain fog, sleeping issues, bone, joints, all of this. Yes, even as well as I am, I still go through these, but they're very mild, and I'm able to move through them with a lot more ease and grace, where other people are really, really sick. I've seen this come and go in waves. I saw it come and go in the fall, come and go in the summer, especially with the kids. They're purging and detoxing. So get all the shit out, Make it sustainable. Maybe not go hardcore balls to the wall. Do it per your intuition. Listen to this and feel into this. All right, feel into it. Don't try to figure it out. We're feeling into it now. We're not figuring anything out. We're feeling into what is right. You know, if you're still here, 20 minutes in, 2020, that was a year, wasn't it? It's a grand awakening for a lot of people, 2020. And again, I could talk about this all day, but to keep it simple. And if you're hearing other beautiful souls, they have amazing information, but they're saying you have to do this to ascend. You have to do this to raise your vibration. You have to do this. You feel into that. You don't have to do anything. You choose. It's all about choice and free will. And yes, all of the other information is correct, but there's just that little bit that says, especially those that come from disordered backgrounds in all ways, shapes, and forms, you can get really caught up into I have to do this, I have to be strict and rigid, I have to do all these massive detox protocols, I have to force myself to exercise, I have to lift hefty, I have to do this, that, and the other. That just spins you back into that keeps you spinning in that cycle, in that endless loop. Okay? We don't want you, we want to get you out of that. Okay? All right, so what else do we want to talk about here, Source? Yeah, so please comment below if you're having struggles with anything. There's plenty of herbs that you can use to help with parasitic, and I would say around new moons are great. That'll help with the physical parasites and the heavy metals. You can use things like activated charcoal. You can use different herbs and supplements, whole food based as much as possible. Read the ingredients always. Lots of salt, lots of hydration, lots of movement when you feel called to move. This was one of my biggest lessons, as I basically flipped the switch when I started going through this mass awakening, that my spiritual practices, my spiritual exercises became bigger than my physical practices, because I spent many years beating myself up. So I had to transition that. And if I wake up, like the day before, I think, oh, maybe I'll work out. I wake up and I feel into if I want to move my body. I feel if I want to pick up the weights today, or I feel if I should do some yoga, or I feel if I should dance. Rebounding is amazing for everyone, especially the older you get. Sitting on a stability ball and just do a gentle bounce. Just that lymphatic movement will be chef's kiss. So those days that I have energy to do nothing, I sit on my stability ball and just bounce, or I just move and sway. You know, qigong, tai chi, gentle walks in nature. I plan on getting out and taking a walk out at the nature center. I feel called to today to maybe do some light language and share those codes, that nature. So just gentle movement, walking. It's not, the harder enforceably it is, you should run the other way. It should be more gentle movement, more fluid type movement, that feminine energy. Not this masculine energy that a lot of the females have been called into. Bigger, better, stronger. I got to lift heavier. I got to get big and look like a man bullshit. Nah, we're done with that. We've learned our lessons on that. At least I hope we have, or we're starting to come out of that. So if you have no energy, because you're integrating, you're detoxifying, you're recalibrating, you're receiving, you're allowing, whatever it is, sit on a stability ball. Get a stability ball and just sit and bounce. See how much fun that is. Your inner child will fucking love you. And what else I'll do is I'll put my stability ball on my little mini rebounder. I have a 900 square foot apartment, but I keep a mini rebounder. And if I don't feel like standing and jumping, I'll put the stability ball on the rebounder, and then I'll bounce. While I'm journaling, while I'm just sitting listening to a transmission in the morning, if I don't feel like moving around a whole lot, I have so much in the toolbox I can offer to the collective. And I love to work with people in this arena. Thank you, Source. In this arena, now even more so with the knowledge that I have gained and the healing that has taken place during my spiritual awakening. I'm getting goosebumps. Thank you, Source. Thank you for all of the lessons. Thank you for all the teaching, the tools, the wisdom, and the knowledge. And it's been a journey, let me tell you. I could literally get on stage and talk for about 2 hours about this probably. And I know one day I will. I know Source will get me in front of a bunch of people that can hear me on a large platform about everything. The time will be perfect when the time is perfect. And now I just allow, I rest, I integrate, I move when I'm called to, I eat what I'm called to. I don't force it. I don't tell my body what it should be doing. I don't tell my body what it should be eating. I feel into what she wants, what she needs in every now present moment. And if I think I'm going to need something later, I wait until later to feel that out. Not figure it out, sorry, to feel that out. I don't say, oh, but later I have to have this for dinner. I feel into it. If I feel like I'm out and I feel I need to go get eggs, I'll go get eggs. Or if I need to just eat more watermelon, I'll eat more watermelon. If I feel like I need to make a smoothie, 25-25, I make a smoothie. All right, so just breathe into it and feel it. And if you might start hearing this. You might hear more like me that are saying, feel into what these changes are. Feel into these, because you're going to have changes coming up. You're going to feel like things are shifting and evolving, that if you've been following any strict protocol, you're not going to shrink, you're not going to melt away, and you're not going to die. That's just the ego dissolving, kicking and screaming. Let it. All right. There's so much to be said here, but I think we'll leave it here. These beautiful source codes. Archangel Michael's here to help cut those cords. Call him in. Call in any medical team members, any guides and angels that are working with you for your highest and best, and come in and cut all of these programs, these conditionings, even addressed to nutrition protocol. Ask your higher self, ask your physical, meditate with your physical avatar. It is consciousness, your organs, and say, hey, what do we need today? What do we need for dinner? What do we need tomorrow? What do we need today? Ask Archangel Michael to come in and cut anything, those attachments, those thought forms, those programmings, those conditionings that you have held to, especially in the industry, as I say, and clear those out, and then ground it and release it and let it go. And just, again, feel into it. Don't try to figure it out anymore. We're feeling and listening to resonance, okay? And if one day you need eggs and cottage cheese and the next day you need nothing but watermelon, honor that, because that's what you need. That's what your physical avatar needs. Okay? And it's all perfect, because you are perfect. You are not broken, and you are worthy of taking care of your physical avatar. And again, the less you resist, the easier it'll be. The more you resist, the more you deny, the more you try to hide and run from it, the more uncomfortable you're going to be, and the more dis-ease and discomfort your physical avatar's. It's not punishment. Your avatar is trying to shake you to pay your attention to what it needs. All right? What it needs. Not because you're trying to force it into something. It's because you're feeling into what it truly needs. What your soul needs right now. All right? I love you. I am you. You are me. And we are doing this together. From the bottom of my heart. I'll see you soon.